And so what I would encourage us to do from this text, a little bit of straight talk on how we think about the future and how we embrace a cross-centered life now, is that we re-embrace the tension of what it means to be a Christian. And there is a tension, isn't there? There is a tension in that we are no longer controlled by the power of sin. We've been freed from the power of sin, but we're not freed from the presence of sin. So I can guarantee you, every single one of you still struggle against the flesh. You still struggle against the world. You struggle against the devil. There's things in your life that you do that you don't want to do. You're freed from the power of sin, but you're not freed from the presence of sin. It is true that Jesus Christ has defeated death, that death is no longer an enemy. The sting has been taken out of it. But when you go to a funeral or when you lose somebody you love, you realize death is still an enemy. Yes, they've been translated to glory. They're in heaven, but there is death. It's right there in front of me, and there's this tension. There's this tension in that we're living in the world. We're seeking the good of the city. We're seeking to love others, and yet the world in which we're seeking the good for hates us, hates our views, hates the exclusivity of Christianity, and that's a tension. And I think Paul would say, as an American church, especially in light of things that have been happening, it's time to re-embrace this tension that, yes, you've been called to believe in Christ, but not only to believe on him, but to suffer for him. And some of you are in fields in which that's your daily experience. Some of you, maybe you're a scientist or you're in the academic field, and if you don't believe in macroevolution, Darwinian processes bringing about what we have today, if you believe in any kind of creationism, you're probably maligned, you're ostracized, people make fun of you, so you know this kind of persecution. Others of you are in other fields in which this is the case. What Paul would say is, that's what I'm talking about, that kind of social marginalization and persecution, that's what I'm experiencing. Others of us, we don't experience that, especially here in the Bible Belt, but I'd say in the next 10, 20 years, maybe it'll grow a little bit more. And you think about it, as I said a while ago, the vast majority of Christians around the world, this is their daily experience, and the vast majority of Christians throughout world history, this was their daily experience. And so the Corinthians were so proud and arrogant, they never would have thought of themselves as having to embrace this kind of tension. The question is, will we be ready to embrace these kinds of tensions when they come about?